Imagine the impact of a Tesla electric car priced under $12,000. Sounds impossible, doesn't it? But that's exactly what Elon Musk promised when he announced the upcoming Tesla Model 2. Still in the preparation phase, this true bomb in the automotive market is expected to be launched with an estimated price between $11,750 and $13,750. This won't just be a commercial feat, it will be a historic turnaround. With this price tag, Tesla could completely break China's hegemony in the electric vehicle market, challenging companies like BYD and NIO, which until now have dominated with their aggressive pricing and large-scale production. The plan will be bold, but strategically thought out. To make such an affordable car viable, Tesla will need to make the most of the incentives provided by the IRA, the United States Inflation Reduction Act. With generous tax credits for locally produced vehicles with domestic components, Elon Musk will find the perfect loophole to make the Model 2 not only possible, but highly profitable. In addition, manufacturing will take place in the United States, which will mean less dependence on foreign countries and more cost control. It's the kind of move that shows how Tesla thinks several steps ahead. If this promise is fulfilled, Tesla could set a new standard for the industry by offering a state-of-the-art electric car for less than many popular combustion engine cars. The truth is that no current competitor seems prepared to react with the same force. And this is where the blow to China takes shape. After all, the United States has already announced tariffs of up to 145% on electric vehicles and raw materials imported from China. This could suffocate Asian brands in the American market, making the Model 2 not only competitive, but virtually unbeatable in its price range. Now, it's worth imagining how competitors will react. Models like the BYD Dolphin, which currently stands out for its cost-benefit ratio, could become economically unviable in the US in this new scenario. Musk, always provocative, could make the competition even more unequal, especially if he can guarantee reasonable performance at such an aggressive price. And if Tesla offers autopilot as an option even in this entry-level model, the comparison with Chinese cars will become even more embarrassing for the Asian side. The interesting thing is that Tesla's strategy is not coming out of nowhere. Elon Musk has been signaling for years his desire to make technology cheaper and popularize electric vehicles. However, until now, the prices have not matched the promises. The Model 3, which was also supposed to be the people's car, ended up being more expensive than many expected. But the Model 2 could finally fulfill this role. If Tesla delivers on its promises, it will not only popularize electric cars, but also reinvent the concept of accessibility in the sector. This shift will be especially important in the US, where price remains the main barrier to mass adoption of electric vehicles. With the Model 2, ordinary families, young professionals, and even ride-hailing drivers will be able to enter the Tesla universe without breaking the bank. This will represent not only a technological victory, but a social and political move. Elon Musk could become the face of a new era, the era of the popular all-American electric car. The backbone of this revolution will be built on Texas soil. The Giga Texas factory, located in Austin, was chosen as the nerve center for Model 2 production. And it's no coincidence. This strategic location, combined with a colossal infrastructure, will allow Tesla to not only reduce logistics costs, but also drastically speed up delivery times. With more than 10 million square feet of built area, this industrial giant will have the capacity to produce a vehicle every 45 seconds. Can you imagine what that means on a scale? We're talking about a potential of 1 million units per year by 2027 in this part of America alone. But what will really set Giga Texas apart from traditional factories will be its degree of automation. Tesla is about to operate an assembly line with up to 80% of the processes performed by robots. And these aren't just ordinary robots, but AI-driven systems that will be able to learn, adapt, and even predict failures before they happen. This should reduce labor costs by up to 30% and, more importantly, ensure almost surgical precision in every assembly detail. The less human intervention, the less chance of error. And the faster everything can be delivered. And there's another detail that will make any investor's eyes light up: renewable energy. Giga Texas will run mostly on solar and wind power, reducing operating costs and making Model 2 production even more in line with the sustainability proposal that Tesla sells to the world. This will also help the company gain important points with local governments and consumers who are increasingly concerned about the environmental impact of the automotive industry. In fact, this alignment with U.S. public policies will be one of Tesla's greatest assets at this stage. The U.S. government has already openly declared its desire to reduce dependence on Chinese products. And the production of the Model 2 in Brazil could transform Giga Texas into a symbol of this new industrial independence. Elon Musk will not only be launching a car, he will be raising a flag, that of the rebirth of American industry: green, technological, and powerful. Another interesting point is the impact that this factory is expected to have on the local economy. It is estimated that more than 20,000 direct jobs will be created with the operation of Giga Texas, not to mention the thousands of indirect jobs that will arise around it, in suppliers, transport companies, and service providers. In this scenario, Tesla will no longer be just a car manufacturer, but will become an entire ecosystem, pulsating in the heart of Texas and spreading its influence throughout the United States. And this factory will not only be a car-making machine, but also a technological showcase. Tesla will use Giga Texas as a laboratory to test innovations in automation, new materials, and production line formats. Many of the technologies that will be applied to the Model 2 will later be replicated in other models of the company, or even exported to other factories of the group, such as those planned for Germany and Mexico. The Gigapress will literally be a force of nature inside Giga Texas. With an impressive 50,000 tons of force, this machine will be responsible for molding large parts of the Tesla Model 2 into single pieces of cast aluminum. It's hard to even imagine how big something like this is, but to put it in perspective, this press will be nearly 10 times more powerful than any equipment used by traditional automakers. And the impact of this technology won't just be visual. It will be reflected in every penny saved and every minute saved in the assembly process. Instead of hundreds of small parts being cut, welded, and screwed together, Gigapress will do it all in one go. The front and rear of the car will come out of the factory in single pieces, replacing up to 400 separate components. This will mean fewer robots, fewer welds, fewer screws, and much less assembly time. And best of all, this change should not compromise quality. In fact, it could improve it. The structure will be more solid, more precise, and with fewer points of failure over time. For those who care about durability and safety, this will be a real revolution. Elon Musk has already talked about turning his factories into automated alien ships, and perhaps this Gigapress is the first concrete step towards that. The machine will be developed in partnership with the Italian company Idra, and will feature a new type of metal alloy called Teslim X, tailored to meet the needs of the Model 2. This alloy will be 18% stronger and 11% lighter than traditional aluminum, a detail that may seem too technical, but in practice it means a more agile, safer, and more autonomous car. And perhaps most impressively, Gigapress will allow Tesla to reach a production rate that borders on the unbelievable. It is estimated that, with this machine running at full steam, a Tesla Model 2 could be completed every 5 seconds. That's right, 5 seconds. A number so aggressive that it sounds like the stuff of science fiction. But if there's one company that has a habit of making the impossible a reality, it's Tesla. And if that really happens, rival automakers will have serious cause for concern. But it's not just about speed. The precision achieved with Gigapress could redefine the standards of automotive assembly. While traditional methods require dozens of post-molding adjustments, Tesla's new process is expected to eliminate nearly all of them. The margin of error will be reduced from nearly 2 millimeters to just 0.3 millimeters. That means perfect fits, less noise over time, less rework, and a more solid, quieter driving experience. A leap in quality, not just efficiency. Additionally, Gigapress will make the car easier to manufacture in different parts of the world. Since the main components will be virtually ready-made, it will be easier to standardize production across factories in Germany, China, and Mexico. Tesla will be able to replicate the same level of quality across regions, something few automakers have achieved to date, and this will be key to scaling the Model 2 globally, while keeping the price low and the standard high. For decades, the electric automotive industry has been held hostage by raw materials controlled almost exclusively by China. But Tesla is about to break that cycle. One of the most strategic points behind the Model 2 will be precisely the replacement of Chinese components with materials sourced from North America. This change will not only be a commercial choice, but a master geopolitical move. With tensions rising between the US and China, relying on a vulnerable supply chain would be a huge risk for any manufacturer looking to scale safely. A clear example of this will be graphite, which is essential for manufacturing battery anodes. Currently, around 70% of the world's graphite comes from China, and most of the refining capacity is also there. But Tesla is already partnering with suppliers in the United States and Canada to obtain high-purity synthetic graphite. This move will ensure not only price stability, but also greater control over the production chain. And, as a bonus, it will also allow the Model 2 to continue receiving incentives from the IRA, which requires local materials and components. Another critical point will be the use of rare earths, such as neodymium, used in permanent magnets for electric motors. China currently holds approximately 85% of this market. However, the Model 2 should break this dependence by adopting motors with a new magnetic architecture that completely eliminates the use of rare earth magnets. This will represent not only a technological advance, but also a sustainable one. Less extraction, less environmental impact, less submission to external pressures, and more innovation, just the way Tesla likes to do it. It will also be necessary to deal with lithium, the energy heart of any electric car. Although lithium mining takes place in several countries, such as Australia, Chile, and the United States, China still concentrates a large part of the global refining. Knowing this, Tesla will already be investing directly in refineries within the US territory, in addition to signing agreements with local mining companies. This will allow the lithium used in the Model 2 to be processed and used without leaving the continent, strengthening productive independence and complying with the fiscal requirements of the Biden administration. And it's not just a question of independence or economy. Replacing these materials will also be aligned with the quest for sustainability. Every gram of raw material that Tesla can replace with a cleaner, recyclable, or local alternative will mean less pollution, less international transport, and a smaller carbon footprint. The Model 2 will thus be not only affordable, but also environmentally responsible. A combination that very few electric models currently manage to deliver. This new supply model will also allow Tesla to be more agile in dealing with global crises. Whether it's a pandemic, a trade war, or even a logistical failure, having all links in the supply chain closer to production will give the company a resilience that will be crucial to maintaining steady production. While other automakers may face shutdowns due to a lack of a specific chip or metal, Tesla will be more protected, and that could be decisive in such a competitive market. The Model 2's design will be one of those cases where less is more. Tesla is expected to focus on a philosophy of functional simplicity that, instead of blindly cutting costs, will seek to intelligently optimize every detail. At just 1,450 kilos, the Model 2 will be lighter than most of its competitors, and this will not be a mere technical number. This weight reduction will result in better acceleration, greater autonomy, and less wear on components such as tires and brakes. For daily drivers, it will be the kind of car that responds quickly in traffic and costs little to maintain. And even with this slim body, the interior space will be surprising. The secret will be in how Tesla will use every inch of the body. The interior will offer an impressive 98 cubic feet of volume, which will put the Model 2 at the top of the compact category. It will be a typical small car on the outside, but giant on the inside. Families, ride-hailing drivers, and even those who like a weekend trip will be able to count on plenty of comfort, both in the front and in the back seats. It will be hard to believe that so many people can fit in such a compact car. One of the greatest technical advantages will be the aerodynamic coefficient of just 0.19. This will make it one of the most efficient cars in history in terms of wind resistance. The lower the drag, the less effort will be needed to maintain speed, and the lower the energy consumption. This will allow the Model 2 to achieve enviable ranges even with a lighter and more compact battery. In other words, it will be possible to drive further for less. And that, for the average consumer, is what really matters at the end of the day. The clever shape of the Model 2 should be especially effective in cities, where space and agility are crucial. Its compact size will allow for quick maneuvering, easier parking, and less stress in traffic. At the same time, the car will have enough interior height to avoid feeling cramped. Anyone who is 6 feet tall or taller will be able to sit in the back with their legs stretched out. And that's rare in a car that's less than 14 feet long. The lightweight body, combined with the new high-efficiency engine, will also reduce response time when accelerating or braking. And since the Model 2 will use new metal alloys in the chassis, such as the Tesla X, it will be able to offer greater safety without the need for heavy reinforcements. This will provide a feeling of stability when driving, even at higher speeds or on tight curves. For those who value drivability, this will be a real gain in performance and confidence. The interior of the Model 2 will be a spectacle of intelligent simplicity. No buttons scattered all over the place. No panels full of lights that confuse more than they help. Tesla has created a space where everything will be where it needs to be. And that's it. The control center will be a single 15-inch screen positioned in the center of the dashboard, from where the driver will be able to access all of the car's functions. From the air conditioning to the navigation, from the music player to the vehicle's settings, everything will be managed by touch or voice commands, and all with a clean, intuitive, and modern interface. This type of solution will be ideal not only for young, tech-savvy drivers, but also for older drivers or those less familiar with screens and icons. Tesla will have to pay attention to the details. Large letters, clear contrasts, organized shortcuts, and voice commands that work with natural language. Instead of searching for complicated icons, drivers can simply say, "Turn on the headlights," or "Play jazz on Spotify," and the system will understand. This will be a game changer for those who want convenience and hate wasting time with confusing menus. The Model 2 will also be welcoming. The interior will be designed to convey calm, lightness, and functionality. Pleasant touch recyclable materials will be used to cover the seats, dashboard, and even the ceiling. And it won't be that cheap stuff disguised as eco-friendly. Tesla will be betting on a new type of sustainable fabric that, in addition to being beautiful, will be resistant, easy to clean, and extremely comfortable. This will give the car that affordable premium feel, the famous simple yet chic. Comfort will also be enhanced by ergonomics. The seats will feature the so-called Tesla Comfort Geometry, a design system that distributes body weight more evenly, avoiding pressure on the back and hips. This will make a difference for those who spend hours driving, whether in city traffic or on longer trips. And the manual or electric seat adjustments will allow everything to be quickly adapted to each person's taste, without any fuss. When it comes to silence, the Model 2 should be a showstopper. The interior soundproofing will be optimized to reduce external noise and make the environment more pleasant. Tesla will work with active noise cancellation, which will allow drivers to enjoy clear sound, even on busy roads. In fact, the sound system with 12 well-distributed speakers will make any playlist sound like it's in a studio.